Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in on the second version of this race from Knoxville, Tennessee. Round number one for the Southeast Gassers Association. This is round number one only. We call this the second version because our first one had technical and audio difficulties beyond our control at the time of posting. We have realized the problem, resolved the problem, and have reposted this event. So thanks once again for joining in. And please check out round number two through the finals, a video which should be posted next week.
All right, Mitch Stott, we find ourselves here at the sixth race of the year in our 2020 season in Knoxville Dragway, and what a reunion we've got coming back to this place.
David, not only is it our sixth race of this season, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is our sixth continuous race here in Knoxville, Tennessee at this wonderful racetrack. And, you know, David, this track really never fails to provide some great drag racing. I have seen championships get traded here. I've seen, consistent winners lose here. So this racetrack always brings about some excitement. Everything is playing the part here for this racetrack. Overcast, no direct sun, keeps the surface temperature low, keeps the racetrack tight. I look to see two things today, David: broken parts and great big wheel stands, and third thing is going to be some phenomenal fast racing.
Well, we're looking forward to bringing it to you, fans, and it's on the way right now. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2020 Southeast Gasser Racing Association season, where we have invaded the Knoxville Dragway for the sixth round of our 2020 championship season. We're going to go right into first round of Super Stock, brought to you by Hoosier Race Tires, and you can see our championship point standings getting extremely tight here, with Mark Hackett holding a 5-point lead over the dirt man, Rick Varner, as we come out of our Xenia, Ohio race.
David, that 5-point lead is only one round, so the people know how we tabulate points. Right there in that beautiful little Falcon that he calls the Slick Rick. He'll be over in the left lane out of Dandridge, Tennessee, a hometown race for him. He's going to be taking on the Leesville, South Carolina racer, Zach Long, in the Brass Monkey in the right lane. And Rick Cathcart stretches it out in that little Falcon to an easy victory over Zach Long. And there comes our point leader, right now. That's Mark Hackett out of Lebanon, Tennessee, taking on Dale Morton in the Lucille. And he takes care of business coming out of that right lane. James
Beard in the car that him and his dad that just debuted up in Xenia. Going to be taking on Kyle Bowenkemper in that Biscayne over in the right lane. Mitch, what a beautiful car that the Beards are debuting out here this year in 2020.
David, it is, and for the time that we had no Chevrolets in Superstock, now we've got multiples of them, and I'm glad to see it. James Beard stretching that win out.
They're really going some good rounds. Next pair up, that's going to be the Dirt. That's Chris Allison driving the Dirt Man's car. Right there, Chris Allison. I think this is his first race with us in the Superstock category, a car owned by Rick Varner. Going to take on Houston Neese in the 2-bit racing 4-door Chevy 2 in the left lane.
David, Houston Neese, a drag racer from forever, been a lot of success in bracket racing, but now he has found trouble trying to be successful in this professional method of drag racing Superstock, but it looks like he just may take the win, and he does.
And you can see Chris Allison losing some traction out there trying to get all that horsepower to the ground in those 7-inch Hoosier specifically built tires.
David, you might read those words "rent me" on the back of that car Robert Peffley's in. That's his dad's car. That car's been driven by a little bit of everybody this year.
It sure has. Superstock guys helping out each other. And Mark Hackett was the benefactor of that in Xenia, Ohio. Now we have Brian Olds in that beautiful Barracuda going to be taking on Tyler York in another car owned by Rick Varner over in the left lane. Brian Olds putting a lot of smoke out right there, but taking the victory, getting to the stripe first.
That shows you they running them jokers hard, David.
Molly Motorsports helping bring you a C-Gas, and now you get a chance to look at our C-Gas points. Todd Oden sitting 30 points behind George Miller in the Falcon Crazy. Charlie Lee in there at 145 in third place. This points battle in C keeps tightening up, Mitch.
That it does, and right there is one of the standouts in C-Gas, Josh Pruitt. You know, he's not high on the points ladder right now, but, buddy, he has been in times past.
And really been doing well lately, getting that car back to where it needs to be. They struggled in it.
That it has been. This is a bye run for him, so he is assured a second-round victory. So, David, this one here, all he's got to do is just make a good, clean run, collect his data, and be ready.
And there is the flower power of the Columbus, North Carolina driver, Cynthia Phillips. And talk about driver improvement and improving a car. Man, she has really been on it in the last year and a half, I got to say.
You see that real long gear shift lever in there, David? That's something special that Quayne had built with Cynthia to help her with the gear changes, and that has made quite a difference. Buddy, she can roll that stick.
And there's Scott Wallace pulling in into Indian Express right there. He's going to be going alongside of the Stud Muffin. That is Larry Floyd driving Leslie Horn's car. Scott.
First matchups in C-Gas, David. The first rounds there was a bye run as well as a competition single, I believe it was, on Cynthia's part. So this is the first pairing in C-Gas that's actually going to be contested. So here we go, buddy. This should be a pretty good drag race.
What a great shot right there at ground level from our cameras. And
Power PM and go.
Scott Wallace, just no chance right there as he's taking on a defending champion. And there is the odd rod of Kevin Shaw coming out of Lebanon, Tennessee. That good look inside the car brought to you by Trent Sherrill, the photographer there of Todd Oden, the man who sits second in points right now in that big 58 Delray that he calls the Double X.
Yeah, David, if you go to a drag strip looking for electronic boxes and automatic transmissions and all kind of driver aids, don't come here, my friend. You want to come here, the only thing you're going to find is a gear stick, a clutch pedal, 3 pedals, and a serious race car driver.
Love this view right here. Look at these cars get down the racetrack. Never thought we'd see a truck go that fast against that 58, but here's another truck right behind it. Billy Wilson out of Gaffney, South Carolina in that 49 Studebaker, going to be taking on Steve Bright out of North Charleston in the car he calls the Carolina Flash.
David, I know drag racing is not necessarily the competition of beauty, but that Barracuda of Steve Bright right there, and there's a couple other ones out here, like that Gold Dust and Superstock. Those are some sharp-looking hot rods, man.
And Billy Wilson got this troublemaker truck really performing well. I think he's got some full power underneath it. Custom Automotive in Gaffney helping him get down the racetrack. And look at that Studebaker. It has been shot out of a cannon, and Billy Wilson will advance to round number 2.
Been wanting to win around. Been a long time coming.
So this is literally your first round win, I believe it is. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Well, what a pleasure, what an honor. You know, not often I get all these newbies, but hey, brother, we look to see you in the second round. Boy, that would really be something, won't it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Speaking of the second round, here is Washington, Indiana driver Jeff Jones out of the One Way Technologies camp over there driving Mama's Pie Wagon. He'll be in the left lane taking on John Gilligan in the penny pincher out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Wheels up in the first 3 gears. Look at that, Mitch Stott, as that Mama's Pie Wagon totes the meat.
I understand you and Dad Sam have invested in some kind of new computer guidance system because you can't quite see where you're going with the front end in the air all the way down the racetrack.
We keep trying to tame this thing down, and it just keeps hooking better and better. So we got to do something to stop that.
Too much one-way horsepower, maybe?
Well, I don't know about that, but we just got to get a handle on it.
There's some more one-way technology of our points leader right now, George Miller in the Falcon Crazy. He's out of Indiana as well. He's going to be taking on Jerry Conrad, brand new to us in the Southeast Gassers with the mousetrap over here in the left-hand lane. Beautiful Chevy too, as you see that car being debuted here. George Miller goes in deep.
Car lunged on him a little bit there, David. I don't think that was intentional. Both cars in deep, and George Miller benefiting. He is out and going.
Listen to him get through the gears. There's Tennessee Charlie Lee Jr., the man that sits third in our points. He's going to be taking on our other lady driver right here, Jenny Moses, in the Scream Machine, and she'll be in the right-hand lane in that beautiful 55 that she has. And, buddy, look at Tennessee Charlie stretch it out and yap her right down the racetrack.
Back to the way Charlie Lee, I finally get to talk to you again. It's like been a while. Where you been?
I'm going out for second round, last 3 times in a row.
So I just have to come down here the first round to talk to you? Is that what it is?
Yeah, first round. You can talk to me. I'll probably be at the next round. You won't see me no more.
Always the comedian right there, Tennessee Charlie, as we get a good look at those rear tires of Tim Hall out of Abbeville, South Carolina in that 67 Rambler. He's going to be taking on Ernie Smith in the left-hand lane. Ernie getting a slight advantage on the starting line, but stumbles there, and that is too much Tim Hall horsepower right there.
Dog's been chasing his tail around in circles today, but really, I'm adjusting everything and hadn't got the result I want so far, so that wasn't even good either, so we got to make an adjustment if we're going to run the next round.
Well, I understand. I learned something or heard something here a while back. I did not know. You're an auto mechanics teacher, is that correct?
Yeah, I teach automotive technology at the Career Center in Abbeville. And
well, maybe you need to call your students and ask them if they got any ideas what's wrong with the old Scalded dog.
Yeah, we just got here and had the wrong setup in it, and then we're trying to recover and hadn't had good luck with it. So
I'm sure you and Dad George are sorted out.
All right, another pair of competitors. Hometown guy right there, Ted McKee, out of Bluff City, Tennessee. He's going to be in the left lane, and that is Jimmy Huff in the Hoopty Wagon, the 64 Ford Falcon. He's over here in the right lane.
Jimmy getting welded to the tree. He better hope that forward horsepower is sufficient, David.
He's got to run the key down. Good drag race right there, and looks like Jimmy
victory in first round over a Chevrolet.
I know it. We loved that one. He got me out of the hole, but I run him down. No hoot wagon, run him down.
That feels even better, don't it, Jimmy?
Feels a whole lot better. I'm sure Pop be happy about that one.
You're right. Talking about losing your father a few weeks ago, no question he's a riding with you. Got his hand in there with you. So I don't doubt that he was probably smiling, saying, "Come on, Jimmy, put her in high gear, buddy."
He sure was.
Good job, Jimmy.
All right, moving into B-Gas round number 1. Going to be brought to you by Molly Motorsports. Again, great sponsor for us. And T.J. York, the guy's been really dominant this year, stretching out that lead over Jerry Birch and Wayne Swafford knocking on the door there at 180 points, as this B-Gas is nothing to sneeze at either. And you talking about some great competitors.
Knoxville Dragway hosting the SEGA Southeast Gassers Association event for the 6th year running is being title sponsor by Art Copeland and his company. What is the name of that, Art?
Vintage Pine Flooring.
And where are you guys located at?
We're out of Beaufort, Georgia.
Buford, Georgia. Is most of your business in the pine flooring? Is it walk-in or is it internet-based? How do you do the bulk of your trade?
Oh, 95% is all internet.
Is it? Okay. Well, and so do you send out like samples and things like that to people? If obviously they can see it on the internet, but they can't touch it and feel it.
Yeah, we send out sample boxes that are on our website, and that's how we get most of our business is through samples. And we get a lot of repeat business and do a lot of work with builders and developers.
How did you wind up in B-Gas Southeast Gassers Association?
Oh, been a car show nut for years and just kind of got tired of sitting in the hot sun every Saturday. So we heard about a gasser race and went to the race, and it was not a real gasser race. It was very disappointing and got really burnt out. So we just went back and kept looking at videos, and one day I came across one of y'all's videos and saw some real gasser racing, and y'all were having a race in Shadyside, and that's 3 hours from the house, and I drove up and watched it and knew this is what I wanted to do. And then just a couple of months after that, I traded one of my show cars for this car, and that's how I became involved with y'all.
Well, and thank God for those videos, and lo and behold, here you are on one now. Funny how that works, ain't it? What is your chariot of choice for the Southeast Gassers Association?
This is a 1941 Studebaker Businessman's Coupe. Actually, it's a pretty rare car because in the very beginning of the war, Studebaker shut down and started producing in this plant where this car was made, the motors for the B-17 bombers. And so they only made about 2,500 of these cars. It's an all-steel car. There's no fiberglass on it anywhere. So it's original frame. It's been boxed and reinforced. And I've been a Studebaker nut. I've probably had 14 or 15 Studebakers over the years. And when this one came available and it was a gasser, I knew I had to have it.
Hope that all continues to go well, and we see you in some latter rounds today.
I hope that too. So fear the beard. I'm coming.
You heard that, folks. The beard is for real.
Fear the beard might be the case, but they got a lot of people here today to make fear the beard. But here comes Wayne Swafford down the racetrack. He is the #1 qualifier, and that is a bye-run in first round for him. Coming up next, there's Adam Lohorn out of Palmyra, Indiana. And he's in that Falcon over there in the right lane. The Rod Slinger, he calls it. He's going to be racing hometown racer Ray Fossil right there in that beautiful Barracuda. So a couple of great-looking race cars. And look at Lohorn get him up in the air first, second year. And unfortunately for Lohorn, as he drifted to the center, Ray Fossil, he kept him down pretty good, and he went on to victory. Next up there's the Freebird, Jerry Birch out of Roebuck, South Carolina, taking on Travis Owen out of Atlanta, Georgia in that Born to Boogie 1955. Beautiful race car he's got right there.
And David, I want to make a comment. This is a little bit late, but that Born to Boogie 55 Chevrolet was stolen about a month ago. Any of you people watching have any indication, let us know.
No doubt one of our racers had his stuff stolen there.
I think
Travis
the
Owen.
dew's going to fall. We might have to play a little with the timing or something, make sure she ain't too wild.
Jerry, you touched on a good subject there for those watching at home. As these late races, as it cools down, that moisture squeezes out of the air, and where does it fall? On the racetrack. Be safe, brother. Take care. We'll look for you in the second round.
All right, keeping on here with first round. There's Mike Blackwell out of Campobello, South Carolina in the Smoking Sam.
That'd be Todd driving that hot rod this weekend, David. I'm not real sure why they swapped, but Todd is a former B-Gas champion, and I don't know if Mike just wanted to get his feedback on this car or what, but Todd is a great driver, and this right here should make no difference.
And there you see his wife Mandy bringing him up to the starting line. He's going to be taking on Jason Roberts out of Lexington, South Carolina in the Carolina Moon over there on the right-hand side. There you see the vintage pine flooring bringing you this B-Gas competition here today. You heard from their owner, Art Copeland, who's one of our drivers. Going to try getting set again right there in the beams. Mandy says she should be good this time as she walks away getting ready to let these two go to work right here in the first round of B-Gas.
And a walk-away win on that one, David.
All right, there's Gordon Rundle out of Speedway, Indiana, and another Barracuda called the Suspect Device. And I'm telling you, coming all the way from Speedway, Indiana, that is the heart of racing country up there, Mitch.
That it is, David. You know, if it's in Indiana, it's racing, no doubt about it.
Good-looking race car that Gordon Rundle has put together right here. He's going to be running the foul bird of Sean McLemore, and Sean looked like he was taking a tardy slip there on the line. Gordon Rundle streaks away to victory. Holly Springs, South Carolina racer Daniel Haynes right there in the left-hand lane in that 1962 Patriot. The Falcon, he's over there. There's his wife, Mary Beth, bringing him back. He's going to be racing this time. Did not catch who that was. Oh, Kelvin Cannon. So another Tennessee runner right here. Kelvin Cannon going to be over there in the right lane. That Patriot streaks away. That left-hand lane is looking real good, Mitch.
The Patriot returns to fight yet another battle, round one down. Maybe this could be another good day for you, Dad.
Man, I sure hope so. It'd be pretty awesome. I've got some folks I'd love to put a couple of rounds on today.
Speaking of good guys to put rounds on, there is another one. Gary Smith in the chicken bone right there. The 51 Henry J racing a newcomer, Kevin Bird. Kevin Bird in the second coming takes
Kevin, the second coming is exactly that. It is a second coming from you guys, this whole team of racers that you've put together. It's wonderful to have you out here racing with us, especially when you're making rounds.
Yeah, it's our second round win, and racing with these guys, it's a lot of fun. These cars are killer. These guys are really good, and they're all very accommodating. Love doing it.
Well, you know, that is one thing that makes the Southeast Gasser special is its people. But as I was talking to a gentleman earlier, I do believe it is the last form of pure drag racing on the planet, and I think the spectator count is starting to show.
I agree with you.
All right, now here's another hometown guy, state guy, Bluntville, Tennessee, a little bit away from here. You know, that is Zach Hall. There you see his dad, Ron, right out front of the homegrown 1955 Chevy. He's going to be taking on Bill Revels in the Black Betty. Bill Revels has really turned up his program, and let's see if Zach Hall is up to the challenge right here. Good lead by both cars right there. Looks like, yep, that mechanical fuel injection of Zach Hall streaks it away.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot better. We went all last year in A-Guys and lost first round every time. A-Guys, they ain't any easy class, but A-Guys is definitely the kings of the sport. But we're running pretty good. We made a main jet change, fattened it up a little bit because the air got a little better, and it showed us something there. That's the best price to date. So.
All right, and there is Vintage Pine Flooring's owner right there, Art Copeland, in that beautiful 41 Studebaker that he owns and campaigns out here with the Southeast Gassers called the Kryptonite.
And that is a sharp old hot rod, David, and it's an all-steel car. There's no fiberglass on this thing anywhere. Southeast Gassers Association rules allow for glass doors, front end, and deck. Has to be a steel body with the exception of two car types, a 40 Willys and a 33 Willys. I believe I'm correct in saying that. But in this case, this car is all true original metal steel, buddy. That is a fine example of a Studebaker hot rod.
Yeah, he has now taken his student driver tag off the back. He campaigned that for a long time, but man, Rick Warner really got the jump on him right there, coming off the tree, and he's going to be behind, and Rick Warner is going to take the win. World champion last year. There he is, Tim Bailey, able to make it back out here with us in that 57 Corvette that he calls the Alley Cat. He's going to be running the glory bound of Bryant Dalton as he snips by him at
Bailey,
the line.
it has been a while, my friend. What a pleasure to get to chat with you once again.
Brother, it is so good to be back. Not just racing, but see my family. It's great to be back.
Absolutely, brother. As I said, it's a pleasure to have you back and get to chat with you again. Good job on round one. Let's see if I can't talk to you again in round number two.
I'd love for that to happen.
All right, getting them started here in the box. Coming up, Oliver Springs, Tennessee driver Todd Napier going to be in the left-hand lane in the Atomic Hillbilly. He's going to be taking on the Atlanta, Georgia driver, Dan Hogan. And you see Hogan's car right there, the flat-out Falcon. Jimmy Huff horsepower underneath the hood there for Dan Hogan.
I don't know who builds the motor for Todd Napier. I expect them boys probably doing it now, and it looks like he may have enough power to outrun that Ford today, David.
Yeah, looks like he's going away to victory, and Todd Napier is going to advance.
Hillbilly Todd Napier.
Brother, good to see you making round one. That means there's a chance of me getting to see you in round two.
I hope so. We're going to try. We're trying. We've had this car apart so many times, I'm about to. Oh, my God, I'm wore out. Yes, thank you.
So you sure you don't have the headlights and the taillights and vice versa?
Well, probably got 2 different size bulbs in it, but we're working at it.
The humor of Todd Napier never ceases to amaze us out here, but here is the 17-year-old Kobe Welch right here out of Warsaw, Illinois. He's going to be going down the track and racing Scott Butler in the Little Varmint out of Clinton, Tennessee. We got a good contingent of Tennessee racers here this weekend, Mitch.
That we do, David, and you know, they don't just race this Tennessee race, they follow us around the country. It just so happens to be that Tennessee must breed a lot of drag racers.
Colby Welch, after some exciting qualifying rounds, it looks like maybe you got it calmed down and back to its winning ways. First round out of the way.
Yeah, that's out of the way. We got her figured out, so I think all we got to go from here is up.
And there is our point leader, T.J. York, and a man who has the most wins so far this year in Southeast Gasser Racing in that 1955 Chevy that he calls the Greenhorn Hillbilly.
David, I think T.J. York may have the most of everything this year in B-Gas. He has, without question, been the class of the field, however I should say that. He won the first race, buddy. He's won several since. He's finished high at all of them. He has just been the man to beat.
Alfred Adams knew that he had to get a chance on the line, and that was the only thing he had. But look at T.J. York run him down and get the victory here at Knoxville,
I understand that
Tennessee.
Alfred left heavy on you.
Yeah, Alfred busted me on the tree. I was just trying to get down A and B right now. I had a lot of trouble today. I couldn't make a clean pass. Trying to adjust the clutch in it. It's getting a little crazy. Hard hooking track. So we just want to make sure we got A to B and try to get it set up here for second round.
Got to be careful with that. Although it's a solid decision, boy, don't let them bite you.
I know, it almost did.
All right, A-Gas, you heard Zach Hall say the kings of the sport of Southeast Gassers, brought to you by Summit Racing Equipment. And here's our point standings right now. Spinny Steve Davis on top by, looks like, 4 rounds over Alan Gaulden, the frequent flyer. And there lurks Kenneth Phillips, our last year's world champion, in 3rd place. There you see that Speedy 2 car that we just mentioned with Steve Davis behind the wheel. And there's his crewman Bully bringing him back, making sure that he's dead in his tracks. Sharon Davis right out front, Steve's wife of over 40 years, helping him get that car into position.
You know, David, those two seem like a true fun-loving couple. You know, they're just 2 great people. And when it comes to drag racing, that man right there can drive the wheels off a hot rod, I can tell you that.
Sure can, and look at that pass that he just makes. You know, she's been with him through his dirt track days and on. As we move on to the next one right here, the 58 Corvette with a Gene Fulton small block in it of our world champion from 2019, Kenneth Phillips. He's going to be taking on Sam Gable out of Atlanta, Georgia. One of those Lamar Walden automotive motors underneath the hood of that 56. Gets a little bit of a drop on Kenneth on the line. And there comes that silver streak.
Looks like them two was trying to paint each other, David. They was meeting in the middle, brother.
That was a tough one.
Kenneth Phillips, the victor of it. Now up comes Leslie Horn, the chick magnet, and Tony Turner in the quick and dirty Plymouth with that big old Hemi laid up under the hood, David.
It is so good to see Tony Turner back out here campaigning that beautiful race car. And he's got his hands full right here with the chick magnet out of Bowling Springs, South Carolina, that Leslie Horn is behind the wheel.
I gotta tell you, Tony is hanging with him. This is going to be a drag race. Oh, my Lord. Leslie comes out on top. But, David, congratulations to Tony. That was a good run.
Sure was. That was a great pass for him. And down comes up Dean Jonas in the right-hand lane in the Agent Orange. He's going to be taking on Ben Christopher out of Bowling Springs, South Carolina in his Chevy 2. These 2 cars look a lot alike. One's got that power horsepower for Christopher underneath the hood, and Dean Jones building his own, and Ben Christopher pulls it out at the end. Now if I look at the headlights and I know what that is the little red wagon of Barry Lynn. Rear South Carolina native Barry Lynn in the little red wagon. He's going to be taking on Gary Klein out of North Tazewell, Virginia.
That it is, a Tasmanian Devil. You know, he's the only one who can carry that name legitimately, David. But Gary's sliding on
Gary
the racetrack.
Klein in trouble.
Gary has did not get all of the footage of that, David, but obviously Gary Klein crashed on that run. The car losing control on the shutdown area. We're going to catch a word with him here in just a second, see if we can find out what goes on.
Gary Klein, my friend, nobody likes to see this, but it is unfortunately a part of drag racing. What happened? Walk me through it. It looked like a very good pass. You won that round.
I was on a good pass, and I let out of it, you know, when I come through and hit the brake to slow it down, you know, because it's we don't have a whole lot of room to stop. And it was like when I hit the brake, it done okay, and I rolled just a little bit, and then it started just going left and right and left and right. And that's all I can tell you, Mitch. I don't know why it done it, but I had a good pass.
Yeah. But, we was at the finish line. We was setting up camera stuff when you came through, and it was a solid, good, strong, straight pass. But anyway, Gary, obviously we're glad that the safety equipment done its job. God bless, you know, God spared you to us yet again. But you know, it's right. It is a part of drag racing, and that's the risk that we take. But again, things are designed to help us walk away, and thank God you did.
That's I agree. I didn't know what to expect. You know, I've hit the wall. This be like 3 times over the years, and I think good Lord's tried to tell me something long time before now. But I love this sport so much.
Well, and I think God knows that about all of us. I think He's just telling you to make sure your seatbelts are tight.
Oh, that's tight. I'm sure of that. But I wouldn't be standing here talking to you if they weren't.
Well, it's no laughing matter, Gary, that's for certain, my friend, but it is, you know, you're safe, and that's the main thing. And if you choose, we'll be fortunate to see you again.
Well, I might choose to, but I don't know about my wife. You know me, Mitch, I'm pretty hard-headed.
Yeah. Well, that's the part I was going on.
Yeah.
I just told her. Yeah. Quain Stott, brother, you know, this is the unfortunate part of drag racing. As I was talking to Gary, you know, it does happen, but thank God that there are safety things in place that allowed him to walk away. How do you see this from a Southeast Gassers Association, as everything in place seems to be doing its job? Because we know that you, as in of yourself, the sanctioning body, does not necessarily enforce a safety rule.
Right. We don't enforce safety rules because we let the host track do that. And most of our cars you go by the NHRA guidelines. We don't force them to do that, but most of them do because that's what most tracks require. And they had a great staff here. I mean, they was on him just like that. And the car, obviously, the roll cage and all did its job. Gary, as far as I know, nothing come in on him, and he hit in top end, so he hit pretty hard. So I'm happy. Everything. I mean, I hate the man Gary wrecked his car, but I'm glad he's okay. And that modern day racing, that's one thing that's different than the 1960s. That crash right there would have probably killed somebody in the early 60s. But we do allow modern roll cages, even though we're trying to stay error correct as possible. We still allow the modern roll cages and the modern seat belts and all that stuff that keeps the driver safe. So that's what saved Gary's life.
Well, you know, over the years, Quain, drag racing has changed in a lot of bad ways, but it's changed in good ways in the light of the fact that, you know, we now respect the life of the driver, and there's no reason for us to not have safety things or allow safety things to be in place. It doesn't detract from the race car. It only makes it safer so that they can live to race again.
Exactly. And I don't think back then they just didn't know. They didn't realize how dangerous this is, you know, and the cars are obviously a little faster now, so it's even more dangerous. But yes, we're tickled to death, and I think, you know, we got this cleaned up quick. The race will be right back going. The fans are still here, and I think Gary Klein will be back to race again.
Well, I think he will. You know, he certainly wants to, but he has other factors in place. But he's done this before and came back again when we didn't think he would. So, as I told him, he was my childhood hero, still is, and I would expect to see him back again.
Oh, yeah, he was mine also. So, Gary will always be my hero whether he comes back racing or not.
All right, well, Quain, good that everything ended well, and we'll continue racing.
That's right.
All right, Mitch, and you see right there where there's Justin Moses doing a last-minute check on his tire pressure. After you see a driver go through what they went through and you're the next pair down, what goes through your head as a racer, Mitch?
David, I can tell you, I've been here before. These guys are sitting there, they're talking, they're going through things in their mind. What did Gary do wrong? How can I prevent that? Those kind of things. But the point of it is, you got to put that out of your mind. You got to look at it as though you are the one that's going to defy the odds. You'll be okay. You'll be safe. Your car is built for such a thing. You've checked personally every nut and bolt, and you have trust and faith in your ride. If you don't never need to strap your seatbelts on anyway.
That's a great point, Mitch, because you got to have that confidence in yourself to get up there. Just like they just did drop the hammer. Looks like Gabriel Burrow taking advantage right there and streaks away in that 31 Model A.
The best pass of the weekend. I had a good lot, so I'm happy.
So we just maybe double up on this old Ford?
We're going to try.
And try he may. Coming up next going to be Todd Blackwell in the slingshot right here in the left-hand side. Getting a good burnout with that Par race engine underneath the hood. He's going to be running none other than another Todd Oaten out of Birmingham, Alabama. There you see his beautiful wife, Gina, bringing back Todd in the double down, the A-gas car, a 1957 two-door wagon.
Gabriel obviously talked about his last win in Xenia, Ohio, David. And yes, you got two Todds. Todd Blackwell doing double duty this weekend. Let's see how it works.
Slingshot is shot out of a cannon right there as he is going to go away for the victory.
That will conclude round number 1 of eliminations for this event. Please join in next week for part 2, second round through the finals of the Southeast Gassers Association. And if you enjoy our videos, we certainly invite you to come out and see us live and in person for the most exciting drag racing action on the planet.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.